energy aggregation, otherwise known as government energy aggregation. So we should start with how we got here. So energy deregulation in New Jersey occurred in 1999. So since 1999, we've had a decoupling of our delivery from our supply. Okay? So before 1999, power plants generate the electricity, gets delivered to our utility companies, comes through the wires to us. 1999, the state introduces suppliers. If you think back to Bell Atlantic or Ma Bell, same thing happened in the energy industry. Okay? So right now, what we're talking about is the state chooses our suppliers right now every February. They go out to auction. In June, our rates are reset. New suppliers take effect for the default. We can, since 1999, choose our own suppliers. Most of us don't, but some of us do. So the only thing that the program does is change the supplier. It does not change your relationship with your utility. JCP&L will always be your utility. Okay. All right, so I mentioned a statewide auction. The first week in February, Monday and Tuesday, the Board of Public Utilities held an auction for residential and commercial electricity here in the state. And these are the winners of the auction. So come June 2020, these are the folks that will be powering the electricity in this building and in our homes, okay? So these guys are the guys that are feeding the grid right now. So when we talk about the program, we're replacing these guys with another guy, okay? We're not replacing JCP&L in any way, shape, or form. Okay? So what is aggregation? The aggregation process works in parallel to what the state does. We just do it at a local level. Smaller pocket of population, smaller usage load, and it attracts different suppliers. We also do it at a different time in the energy market, perhaps taking advantage of a dip, right, rather than just February. BGS auction is held every February, sets the rate for the utility's default rate, okay? You'll hear me say that probably 9 times in the presentation. New rates take effect in June of every year, utility's default rate. Title 14, Chapter 4, Subsection 6 is where you can find the regulation promulgated by the board that governs government energy aggregation programs. Community energy aggregation replaces the default rate with a new price based on a community's local usage, right? So your aggregate usage, or what we're talking about tonight, would be the Hunterdon Area Energy Cooperative. So by taking y'all out separate from the state, again at a different time in the market, we can achieve lower rates. Replaces the default rate with the price based on the community's local usage. Bulk purchase electricity from a third-party supplier is how this works. Communities are able to obtain rate reductions on their supply costs. Month-to-month savings is not guaranteed. Okay, there are going to be, well, they're not going to be, there could be months in the summertime when JCP&L flips to a 2-tiered rate. We've got a low rate for under 600, a higher rate for over 600. Last summer, there were some residents that were impacted in the program, not horribly. It was to the tune of $3. Most months they were saving $15, okay? We'll get to some details about the Hunterdon Co-op in a minute. Consumer protection is not normally available in an individual contract, such as the rate cannot be changed, the term cannot be changed, the supplier cannot be changed without formal written information packets out to participating residents in the program, notifying them 30 days before any change, allowing another opportunity for residents to review that information and make another informed decision as to whether they want to participate or not. Okay. So how the process works: ordinance, resolution, and agreements. Right now, Highbridge is in the process of considering an ordinance. The ordinance does not obligate you to move forward with an energy aggregation program. It only allows you to do that. It's the step that's required. I'm with Commercial Utility Consultants, one of the energy consultants for the Hunterdon Co-op. We prepare all of the bid documents. Again, we're going out to auction. Those documents must be reviewed by the Board of Public Utilities and Division of Rate Counsel. Comments will be given back to the municipality on those documents. We hold the energy auction if we receive bids that are lower than JCP&L's default rate at that time, we can move forward with an award. If we do not receive bids that are lower than JCP&L's default rate, we can't move forward with the program. It's prohibited. So, energy auction bid for the program has to be lower. We begin outreach to residents about the program. That includes mailings, public outreach meetings. We have an in-state call center, so this is an opt-out program. In order to get the rate, everyone has to be included. It does not mean you have to stay. And we do provide a few hopefully convenient ways for folks to opt out, one of which is an in-state call center. We'll post a video about the program on the program's website, customized web page. We also provide information about the program for the municipality's website, and we'll repeat the auction at the conclusion of the term of the contract if an award is made. Okay, so when a supplier is awarded, there is an initial 30-day opt-out period. This gives everybody time to review the information packet that is mandated to be mailed out to every eligible resident within a geographic boundary. That will include all of the information, the rate, the supplier, the term, and it will also include the rate of JCP&L's default rate at the time we went out to auction. Okay, you can opt out by returning a postcard that's going to be in that information kit, the 800 number that I mentioned on the previous slide, and the customized web page. It has an opt-in, opt-out button. Okay, so you can decide any time during that initial 30 days or after whether you want to opt in or opt out of the program. There are no fees associated with participating or not participating. There is a permanent opt-out feature, so if we're successful at the time of auction and you decide, you know what, not only do I not want to participate now, I don't want to be automatically included in anything going forward, we do have that permanent opt-out feature. It doesn't mean you can't opt in, it just means you won't be automatically included. Okay, so the program includes what we call eligible residents. That is anyone who is not with a third-party supplier at the time of auction and who do not have solar. Not that we can't include solar customers. The way the net metering works, it tends to inhibit the credits that are received through the net meter. So we just sweep those customers out. Okay. All current services, delivery, meter reads, billing, all of that, service issues, all still going to be covered by JCP&L, right? The only thing that we changed was the supplier, the source of the electricity. Residents continue to call the utility for service-related questions, outages, tree limb hanging over my wire. Residents still receive one bill each month from the utility. Budget billing is offered, so if you're on an equal payment plan at the time that the program is rolled out, you'll be included as a budget bill customer. If budget bill is something that you want to look into after we get the program started, certainly available to you. There are no fees to be part of the program or not part of the program. No one from the program will call or knock on doors. It tends to happen once our other suppliers hear about a program starting in a town. Sometimes you'll see a little bit more folks knocking on doors asking for copies of bills. Don't ever do that. If you do, ask them for a copy of the contract before you sign anything. Okay. Renewable government energy aggregation. This is the credits through renewable. You can certainly talk to us about that if that's something that the town is interested in. The Hunterdon Area Energy Cooperative will have a feature in its next round for 100% renewable. Okay. It will be an opt-up feature. I don't know what the price is going to be because we haven't went out to auction yet, but it will be available. Okay. So again, the only thing that we're changing on your bill, where it says basic generation service, this is the utility default. That would be replaced by, supplier XYZ. The rate per kilowatt hour will be posted. Also on your bill will be a note. Don't let this fool you. It's usually buried with other things. But it will have the price to compare. So it will have the default rate for JCP&L for that billing period. So you'll be able to compare the price through the program versus what you would have paid had you stayed with the utilities default. Okay? So some benefits. No predatory contracting, it doesn't auto-renew. Any change to the program must be communicated to participants in writing at least 30 days before the change takes effect, giving everyone time to make an informed decision. Reduced rates, budget stability, flexible participation for residents. A lot of times folks are really good at taking advantage of some shorter term contracts that come from third-party suppliers. Once you're in the program, it does not mean that you can't take advantage of another supplier's offer. You can certainly opt out and opt in as many times as you want. Residents continue receiving one bill from their utility. Current services still provided by JCP&L. Budget billing and equal payment plans are offered, and the outreach is done by our team, so it may not be me. I'm here because my counterpart is ill, but it's done by our team. It's not like we outsource it to someone and you're going to be sort of the bait and switch. So, just to give you a quick update on what the Hunterdon Co-op is. This is sort of the basic community energy aggregation. The Hunterdon Co-op has been in existence since 2018. It started with 3 towns. The borough of Califon is the lead agent. Bethlehem Township and the town of Clinton were also original members. They all started the program in March of 2019. Washington Township joined them shortly thereafter in April. And since that time, they've saved $116,000 as a total for all of their participating residents. Right now, we are in the process of onboarding Mendham Township, Chester Township, and Morris counties. They start in March of 2020. We've added Delaware Township, Kingwood Township, City of Lambertville, and Frenchtown as of April. And we've got Stockton, Pennington, West Amwell, and Hopewell also looking to join. So it's tripled in size and possibly about 4 times its size once we're ready to go out to auction. Again, the ordinance does not mean that you have to proceed with an energy program. It just is the first step in getting one established. Okay? So I'll open it up to questions.
Is it a situation where the more municipalities that come on board give you more power in the auction?
That is the theory, yes. We've got 3 other co-ops that we work with. We've got the Sussex Warren Co-op that has 15 towns in it. We have the Mars Co-op that has 12 towns in it. We also have a Monmouth Ocean Co-op which has 5 towns in it. So.
And the rules that are up here about like notification for residents of everything, is that your company's policy or is that law?
That is law. That is mandated in Title 14. So Title 14 is about 27 pages long, okay. And it does lay out very specifically timelines and what information has to be included.
Thank you.
I have a question. So a lot of us as just individual residents have gotten letters from companies promising to lower our rates similar to this. This is completely separate from that, correct?
This is completely separate from that, exactly. So when we talk about the information kit, it is branded to the municipality and or to the cooperative. It will have a cover letter from the town saying, yes, this really is our program. When a resident gets a switchover letter from JCP&L saying, hi, we understand it's your intention to go ahead and join your municipality's co-op, it actually says your municipality's cooperative. So that it's not, it doesn't, we hope it doesn't look like junk mail. Chances are some folks are going to mistake it for junk mail, but we try our best. We also suggest highly that we do some outreach presentations just like this for residents. We can do that even in advance of any auctions or joining any cooperative, just so that folks sort of get the idea of what this is. They hear about the program, they know about the consumer protections, and they get a better feel. That way, when the information kit, hopefully we're successful at auction, when they receive that, they're more aware that, okay, this is Highbridge's program, this is what I've been watching for.
Is everybody automatically opted in unless they opt out?
Yes. Yeah, it's the way the statute is written.
Okay.
Again, we try to make it as simple as possible for folks to opt out.
Can we ask questions?
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
have to go up the microphone. Probably say.
Who are you, sir?
I'm Pablo Gallo, 9 Hickory Circle, first time here at council meeting. You mentioned something about the participation of residents, and the way I heard it, you said something like most residents have to participate. I don't know if that's what you meant, but I want to understand, if people opt out, is there a certain threshold that if enough opt out, that then the municipality loses the...
Brilliant question. No,
Okay.
we could be left with one guy out of 1,400 homes. We could be left, that person would still get the rate for the contract term.
Mhm.
Come renewal time, that one guy's probably not going to get a great rate. So we hope that not everybody opts out. But no, the price, once it is set at auction and an award is made, regardless of the participation, that's the program rate.
Yeah, and along those lines, all these municipalities are coming together into the co-op. I guess we're getting all pooled together in the same body of, okay, so then everybody gets the same rate. So,
Yes.
because we're kind of a small town compared to some of the ones you mentioned, so we all have.
You will all
we pull
have,
it
so
together.
JCP&L customers will have the same rate.
Mhm.
We do have some towns that have PSE&G customers as well. All of those PSE&G customers would also have the same rate.
Mhm.
There will, again, be the option to opt up into a 100% renewable option. The price will be the same for JCP&L customers for that product. Again, PSE&G customers will probably have a different price, but it will be universal throughout the program. It's not like one town is going to have one rate and another town will have another.
Right. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. I did leave my card with Bonnie. Feel free to share that with residents should anyone have questions. You can also visit the Hunterdon Area Energy Cooperative's website to see what's currently going on with our 10 towns that are involved in that. That website is www.njaggregation.us/HAEC. And again, I'm happy to provide that to Bonnie or to Meg. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And as Lisa mentioned, and as we mentioned at our last meeting, this is really not saying